A person by the name of Rebbe Dovid Stein told me that he was once by a bris where Rabbi Yoel was Sandik. And after the bris, he went over to him and he asked him for a bracha. He said that we know that a lot of people ask a bracha from the Sandik because it says that the person who's Sandik, Debish, there's Meichel, all his Avedas, but his brachas help. And we can see that especially by Svardish Eden, they come to the Sandik and ask him for brachas. So he also asked him for a bracha. And he looked at him like he fell off the moon. He looked with such eyes, so angry at him. What are you asking for a bracha? He said, you want a bracha? Go to the oil. That's where you get a bracha. He told him, no, but we're talking about being Sandik, and we know Sandik is a Sgula. He wouldn't give him the bracha. There was another person there, a friend of this Rebbe Dovid, who really needed a bracha. His panosi didn't have panosa, and things went wrong, and he really needed a bracha for panosa. So Rebbe Dovid says to me, he told that person, you know what? This person here, Rabbi Yoel, was Sandik, so why don't you go over asking for a bracha? So he answered, no, I don't believe in these things. I don't go to rabbis to get brachas to this. I don't do this. So he said to him, it's a good shidduch. He doesn't want to give the bracha. You don't want to take the bracha, so it's a good shidduch. So let's dafke ask him. So I think it was by the Sud or something. So this Rebbe Dovid tells Rabbi Yoel that this person needs a bracha, and since you were Sandik, I would like you to give a bracha. And again, he looked at him with such eyes, and he said, "What you want a bracha? Go to the oil. That's where you got a bracha. You don't need a bracha." But he said, "But sof kosof, you're Sandik. Al Sandik, you should give a bracha." He didn't want to, but sof kosof, they convinced him, and he gave him a bracha. And this guy says, within a few weeks, a few months, so he struck a deal. In other words, he had a contract that he was involved in, that the profit for him was $770,000. So this person who didn't have panosa now got $770,000. Only thing is, that's derech hagav. Big Chayla took away the IRS, and then he had originally, before, had made a business. He borrowed money, I think $380,000 that he borrowed together with a partner, and the partner ran away with it. I don't know exactly the details, and he lost all the $380,000, and he owed all this money. So when he got this money now, the first thing he did, he took all the money that he got, and he went from house to house to the people that he owed money, which they were long miyayish probably because they saw he doesn't have any money, and he paid all the money to them. And this person was left for himself with $35,000. But that's just derech hagav. But the point is that we know it says a Sandik's bracha helps, and here we see Rabbi Yoel, as Sandik, gave the bracha and it helped. So he was the shliach through which it came through the singing of the Sandik. But it's interesting that first he didn't want to give any bracha b'chlal. He says, I don't give brachas. But then when they convinced him, he says, a Sandik is good. He'll give him a bracha. So he gave him a bracha, but the bracha helped.